Hello, everybody. There's 1 week left till Glasgow regionals. The EU community is somewhat placated, and the Jester Ford wedding events have been going down quite well from what I hear. We've just done some webcam ones this week, and I know, Cameron, yourself, you had some wedding events going on in your area. Who did you end
Yep,
up?
I had one yesterday.
Who did you end up playing?
Isharnai. I just ended up running it.
Oh, okay. So we had 7 people show up to the webcam one, and we split into 2 groups. I ended up playing and DMing it, so I didn't add my usual level of flex. I was more focused on playing it. But we had some very interesting decks brought, including a a Caduceus deck that was only running doublers as their foundations,
Okay.
and I got gameplay of someone using a penny arcade deck to take on the boss.
Oh, nice.
I'll let you guess how
Uh,
that went down.
ugh. Well, what's funny is we only had 3 people show up for ours. So I was just DMing and kinda, like, coaching people through it and, like, helping with strategy, but at first I was like, "Oh, you know, you guys are handling this pretty well. I think this is gonna be alright." And, right after I said that, shit started going downhill, and I was like, "Oh, you might actually lose some people because it was a Grog who was just playing all deflects and healing, trying to take aggro. It was the starter deck Percy and
Oh,
the challenger deck not straight out the challenger.
oh, they do not have a lot of health.
No, they don't. But the Percy ended up dropping to 1 health using what was it, shock resistance
Oh yeah.
to cut himself down to 1 health to uh drop an attack down to like 2 damage, and then the Grog deflected it, so that allowed everyone to survive the retaliation along with blocks and stuff. And then they turned around and they won on the next turn. I was like,
So the first game we did 2 games because we had the time. The first game we did was Dorian Storm, Fern Calloway, and Jester Laveau from the Challenger, and that was the perfect setup because Dorian Storm can do speed increasing and damage reduction. So we would take like 1 or 2 damage from every single attack they were throwing, but our attacks were getting loads of speed.
yeah,
Jester gives themselves momentum on face, so we're able to control the corruption counters. And Fern, which my Fern combat phase, I went big freaking explosion, target blast, spell storm.
good.
Yeah, I said, yeah, Mrs. Worldwide gonna mess you up. It was a lot of fun. We did a serious amount of damage. Uh, the second one was even nastier because Connor, who's in chat, was playing Caduceus doublers, and then I was playing Fern, so we were doing like 100 damage in a turn to them. They,
Jesus.
we never got to see page 4. Sean, our like TO, who's doing
Neither,
it.
neither did we, because everyone just kept taking momentum. I think the Grog, once a combat phase, would just reduce the corruption counters, and yeah, it was hilarious.
Yeah,
It was, but like within 2 turns, they dropped from 150 to like 93 health on the after their like second. I think it was after the first total combat phase ended. I was like, "Hey, you guys are doing pretty good," and then I just got some really good rolls on retaliations and activations. I was like, "Oh shit!" But once they figured out, oh, poke, poke, build, pass. We don't have to string out and then not block all the retaliations because 2 of us only have 22 health.
yeah. I mean, Connor's in there. Yeah, as you say, he did do 86 damage on a single attack because he's just playing all doublers. It but the boss felt like it applied a lot more pressure than the critical role ones we had before. Bar like say Kevdak and like the big ones in the Briarwoods, which had some very nasty abilities. And if this is where PVE is going for Godzilla, Tekken, Fairy Tail, then I'm down for it because this has been a great progression, and it is it's a like I say, it's a great way to teach people the game. It's a great way to have a low stakes, low pressure environment where you can focus on your deck, how you're playing, and go essentially against a wall, which is still going to attack you. So you still learn the defensive skills, but it's a great way to kind
Yeah,
of like improve your skills after a demo.
yeah, and yeah, but my one of my guys, the guy who played the knot, was like, man, if I had thought about it, I would have just brought Paul Phoenix and just stunned the hell out of you and just burned you with the advanced rules that if they stun you have to lose health instead.
Yeah, I mean, not does the same thing though.
Yeah, but stun 1 as opposed to stun 2.
True, but I mean, you have to discard a card for it, which isn't great for retaliation, and you don't get the damage bump.
No, he plays on all, so he has all the draw.
Okay.
Yeah, he draw and he plays like cute host Koto and all of this other stuff, and so he's never want for a hand.
That makes sense. So the main topic we were going to talk about was given to us by Ty's House of Cards, who unfortunately has not responded to actually being on here today. If you just jump on, we'll go over it. But we're going to be talking about. We're going back to the collector's bundles because we just had Sun Jinwoo E Rank Hunter drop. Although if you check UGN Deck Builder, he's not there, which is really frustrating a week out of Glasgow. But
Well, isn't he just treated as a as an
no,
errata to the original?
none of the cards from the bundle are on the deck builder.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah.
meant just Sungjin himself.
No, all the shift attacks, the action, the skill tree, they're not on there. Although the skill tree doesn't really count. But anyway, I digress. We've had this drop. Well, the US have had this dropped. I've heard rumors it's not hitting Oceania till the new year, and EU are expecting it next week, maybe a week later push, which has left a few of us scrambling. It's a bad time to have international delays for something like this, but people are hyped. I've seen people loving this. The fact that once again, Nostradamus Brett has been correct again. The Sun Jinwoo character is a double-sided character, as I predicted. It's just a promo alternate art version on the back.
Which I didn't know about, and I thought I pulled an alt art, and I was like, I didn't know any of these were going to be alt art. What the hell?
No, it's just a double-sided one.
I do like that the skill tree is also double sided, and you have a hollow side and a non hollow side. I thought that was pretty cool.
So is there a non-hollow side of Sun Jinwoo?
What?
Is there a non-hollow side of Sun Jinwoo?
Yeah, the original, the non alternate
okay.
is not hollow.
Yeah, so
But the alternate is hollow.
Mike and I were trying to figure this out because like there was no way the character was going to be like double. If it's double-sided foil, everything needs to be double-sided foil. So the art that we currently have up on the stream, that's non-foil, and then the alt art, the one that's on the playmat, that's foil.
Yeah,
That makes a
which
lot
that
more
alt art
sense.
that the alt art on from the mat looks sick.
Oh yeah,
Foiled on the character, it looks really good.
That's like the season 2 promotional art. That's been everywhere.
And the action still says asset.
Really?
Yep, they did not
dear.
fix that. I could go get my pile right now
Yay.
and shame on stream live, but
Well, that leads us into another issue that may come up, but hopefully it doesn't. But yeah, these products.
oh yeah,
These products have been selling quite well. People are very excited for them. People have been testing them, and Sun Jinwoo does seem to like be entering the realms of competitive play. I've wanted to play him just because I think he's going to be really fun. But people are telling me he's very competitive, and the bans are going to slow the game down a little bit. You're not going to see as much high roll from Godzilla now. He hasn't got his 350% mulligan. You're not going to see the absolute menace 9 times early hand jaw Zeke builds because it's no longer there. There's a lot more.
I'm still saying 9 Titans died for Hanji's sins.
No, Nine Titans was a mistake. 9 Titans was an absolute mistake.
Just make it unique; it'll be fine.
Then
They dropped that the day before Connor was supposed to play my 9 Titans 3M Pumat. That man never got a chance.
And then we got Sweeping Daggers, which got banned That was bad. As I was playing a sweeping daggers Donatello into a Nine Titans Zeke, that was hilarious for us. I've recorded it, so I'm just like uploading, going like the battle of the band cards. But
The Battle of the Bands.
sweeping daggers was not an issue. It was the fact it gate kept a lot of cards. People felt like they couldn't run certain cards because sweeping daggers just got to play them at a much cheaper cost. Yeah, I don't think sweeping daggers should have been banned, but I understand why it was banned.
Yeah, what's funny is Tim Keefe actually posted I think it's like a 15 or a 10 card video about cards that are no longer banned because of sweeping daggers. And one of the cards on there was the Rumbling. And I'm over here thinking, oh, I just taught one of my locals how to run Rumbling Smiling Titan and totally forgot sweeping daggers was the thing. And I just kind of sent him off into the world. And he's been wrecking face. And I was like, oh yeah, sweeping daggers. If someone does that, he's kind of effed. All right.
Yeah,
Whoops.
I think that was one of the big things that was about is like sweeping daggers essentially shut down four-check decks because why would you run such an expensive strategy to get the reward if your opponent could just copy it for free?
Because there's plenty of ways to seal your rival's attacks.
Yeah, that's fair. But like I said, I don't think so. I don't think sweeping daggers should have been banned, but because its power only relates to how powerful your opponent's deck is. Yeah, I think it was fine. I think Nine Titans was an absolute mistake. It should never have been printed. But I think Sweeping Daggers was just a gatekeeper, and it was banned for the play experience, not for its power level.
At the very least, Nine Titans should have been unique. If
Yeah,
it's unique, it can be dealt with. So just errata it to say unique, along with 3M while we're at it.
especially with the
This is a hill
new,
I will kill people on.
especially with the new unique rules where you can't just use the Nine Titans and build in another Nine Titans anymore.
Exactly. It'll be fine.
And then
Like I said, this is a hill I will kill people on.
Then we had the Ask Me Anything drop. If you want to check out what our thoughts are on that, myself and Mike went live yesterday, so that's still on Twitch for everyone to watch. It'll go up on YouTube some point next week. I dropped a lot of videos last week. I think I'm going to try and go back to spacing them out because my surplus of content is running out because I've just been doubling up or tripling up on a day. But we did get something very cool. We got a nice little teaser at the beginning of the week for a Borderlines product. And people started jumping out with theories, and people were, oh, it's going to be a challenger, it's a set. It's like, no, not unless they're announcing.
I thought it was going to be a board game.
No, because there's still two board games that they haven't done that they have been talking about all year. They like Roll for It and the Turtle TMNT Castle Panic were meant to come out this year, but I think we're not going to see them with everything that's going on. But plus, it was done on the Universus account, not the UVS Games account.
Oh, I don't know.
But yeah, I didn't think it was going to be a challenger. I didn't think it was going to be a set because unless we know some 2027 stuff now, unlikely. What I thought it might be a clash deck, but my head went experience bundle.
Yeah. Outside of like a board game, that's kind of what I thought. But then I was like, well, we just dropped like an experience bundle. Are we really going to do another one so soon?
Yeah, because like what we were talking about in our like, is this good for the game thing? It's like these are our secret lairs, and they're going to drop pretty much every couple of months. It's mad that we're essentially having one drop a couple of weeks after one.
Yeah, that's why I was like, it's kind of early, isn't it?
But it can be justified because it's not an essential purchase. Guilty Gear, if you want to play competitively, is an essential purchase. You need cards from it to put into decks. TMNT to an extent, like with MMM, you need to purchase it. These are reprints. There's other versions of the cards available, so you do not have to go out and buy them unless you're a IP collector, a promo collector, or you just want to own every single aspect of this game, which is a lot of us.
Honestly, one of the only reasons I'm considering it is so I can have the Borderlands characters in my character book. So when people are flipping through to see what characters we have available, they can be like, "Oh, Borderlands, that's cool," and maybe that can get someone in the game. So that's the only reason. That's one of the only. Okay, it's one of two reasons why I might be looking to purchase one of these bundles.
I mean, I'm pushing it to get Walk the Dog. Yeah, I think I sold
Yeah, that's
mine.
option. That's number two.
I sold mine because I was like, there's a year left. We don't have regionals. But if this gives an extra year to the life of Walk the Dog, I kind of need to get a playset back. Because
Yeah,
we don't know if this is going to extend the life expectancy of cards, similar to the class reunion stuff gave them an extra year. This could give Weapons Clash and Walk the Dog and the AOT one characters an additional year of legality.
yeah, because we can't zoom in enough to see the like watermark on them.
They'll have a Borderlands watermark on it, similar to the
Yeah,
solo leveling ones.
so
That
it should be under promos, like maybe promos 2025, kind of like the some of the other promos they've released, like the Critical Role ones, maybe,
yeah, but that's what I mean.
so
So
that it'll start from yeah.
yeah, so if it starts from this year, that gives Walk the Dog and Weapons Clash, which are two very good cards. Weapons Clash what now having more accessibility. Walk the Dog now having more accessibility rather than you having to hunt down having to hunt down the look having to hunt down the Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament boxes to try and get hold of these cards, or hunt down singles when they're no longer in print. It's rough. I'm
Or getting scammed on TCG Player because I just have a personal vendetta against TCG Player.
Dan's asking how much they're worth to me. I just sold mine for 25 quid each because I only thought they had a year left. If these are a play set in here, then I'm just buying one of these because I think these bundles are going to be $50, and you get 4 characters, and then if you get a play set of each of these cards, that's going to be absolutely worth it. There's some weird choices to reprint in here. Like we've got Paul Phoenix reprint, which is an odd one.
Yeah, we have Paul Mikasa 1, uh, Sam Devron Racer, which
and
hilariously is a character I am building here soon.
Armin
Once I get some
Arlert.
Exterminate
Yeah.
Mutants. And then, yeah, Armin Arlert, which again, another weird one. So they're picking kind of characters that aren't seeing a lot of play.
It might be they're more
I mean,
thematic
Paul's seeing
to
a little bit.
it might be they're more thematic to what the characters in Borderlands do. We were supposed to have like Ty here. Snuggy Bear would be a great one to ask about this if these are thematic abilities. But it's mad to think that like a few weeks ago we did a podcast on this, and I dropped a video this week on this, and the fact that Walk the Dog is in there. And if this is a $50 bundle, but Walk the Dog on its own is in like the $45 on TCG Player, you can buy one of these and sell the Walk the Dog and make your money back really quickly.
Yeah.
This is what I was worried about with the scalping aspect of it. If this gives Walk the Dog an extra year, the cost of Walk the Dog can keep increasing. But these bundles are going to be a limited edition and a limited availability. So they're going to make these cards even more expensive. And they're solid cards. Weapons Clash and Walk the Dog alone make this bundle worth buying.
Yeah. And then the other two are what the Hiei Foundation, like paying the cost,
Yeah.
and what was the other one? Paying the cost, and it's
Uh,
not showing up under news.
no,
Is it still only on their Facebook?
possibly on the Facebook. Paying the cost and
Let me zoom in here. Paying the cost and resting up.
resting up. I thought I would say resting up.
Yeah, and we get
So it's a lot of
Harlow,
they're all
Eamon,
yeah, they're all Yu
Rafa,
Yu Hakusho
and
cards, aren't
Vex.
they?
The non-characters are, yeah.
But yeah, Connor, I know what
But
the
the
price isn't
characters
going
are
to
different.
change, but if you can get a playset in here, if they confirm that this is a playset of water dogs in this bundle, that's gonna be nuts. Also, this bundle look the layout of this bundle compared to the soul leveling one or the uh City of Wolves one, where it was like a T-shirt with a card in there, a playmat of a card here. This is a kind of like a display binder, similar to what we've seen with the One Piece live action cards, or some of the Pokemon cards, or even the Riftbound Arcane cards. This is going to be a great way to display the card for collectors, for people that, for myself, I can like put it up on one of the stuff behind me. I can literally have it open on display. As Connor says, this is just a secret layer. And my big worry is with a lot of the complaints that we've had, and with a lot of the stuff that people are talking about in terms of the gameplay of the game and like how the game's been designed, the way the cards look, the way the cards being distributed, the way that the game is going. Is it for players anymore, or is it for collectors? That is the main thing that we were supposed to talk about while we were waffling for half an hour. And Ty's House of Cards had lots of opinions on this, and it was originally his idea to do so. Hopefully, yeah, he may show up, but I imagine something may have come up for him. But
Well, if he shows up, I'm just gonna put my chair back into therapy mode and just turn my back massager on and listen. That'll give me an easy day.
now
But
let's look at the evolution of UVS as a collector's game since Heroes Clash. Heroes Clash, when we started the two-tier deck box system, brought in the chromes, and the chromes are only available in first edition, and it was over purchased. The cost of unlimited dropped dramatically. Nobody was buying it, and so they became dirt cheap. First edition was bought out, but because so much was bought, the singles became dirt cheap. So we thought, okay, this is the death of them. They're not going to come back. And League of Legends rolls around, and they're not there. It's like, okay. But then Undaunted Rage comes in, and we've lost the unlimited. We've only got one deck box structure now. And it happens again, but the quality of the cards in there compared to Heroes Clash with repeated 100% smash, the rejuvenating smash,
Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken.
Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken, and Amajiki himself. I know I'm only picking like the big stuff there, but the quality of the cards in there made it also worth purchasing the product. Same with Jetburn, with Blue Flame Torment, and all those cards in there. It was solid in there, but the chromes were still a massive selling point. Then we got the point where now chromes then turned into prizing. If you did well at regionals, you got chrome-esque cards. If you did well at worlds, you walked away with a massive stack of chromes. Then you rolled around, then we started seeing top cut chromes, and it's kind of progressed from there. And then with Hex, we went from 6 to 8 chromes, and with Godzilla we got to 10 chromes. And the pièce de resistance for me, the cherry on the collectability that this game is now designed for, is UVS is celebrating limited runs. When TMNT dropped, it was a case of there's 8 chromes in here, but once they're gone, they're gone. We don't do secondary prints. These chromes are serialized. Once the product sells out, you won't have a chance to get hold of these chromes again. And I'm like, cool. So yeah, celebrating limited print runs, and you're celebrating that this game is hard for new players coming in to get hold of the old stuff that's still standard legal. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I kind of agree on the limited print run things because way back when I started the game, there was a set called King of Fighters Neo Max that was a short printed set, And I was looking on for like just some rares that were like $20, $30. Ultras were in the hundreds. Uh, and it was ridiculous. I was like, well, so I guess I'm not playing anything from King of Fighters. Granted, that was the newest King of Fighters set, but because going down on like UVS Ultra, that's the first King of Fighters set I saw. I thought everything from all three of the King of Fighters would be that expensive. But so that can definitely make the secondary market trickier. I definitely think that they have been burned in the past, especially in the MHA eras when they were doing first edition versus unlimited editions. Uh, I think stores got burned by overstocking their product because I've got it. My main shop still has stuff from, excuse me, Crimson Rampage booster boxes for like $20, first editions. But and granted, we are a much smaller community because I even after almost a decade of playing this game, trying to get a good solid community off the ground, no one wants to leave their Bandai games, even though Bandai keeps screwing them over by dropping their games so quickly. Um, but that's an argument for another day. But I do think that Chrome's I think they're a good idea in theory because everyone loves something to chase. Especially when you look at the online culture, you have pack openings and box openings. It's a good way to kind of get eyes on the game. Uh, but I think another issue is I don't know how popular this game is in big box stores like Walmart, Target. I know some people have found some stuff there, but at least in my area, I have never seen this game outside of one of my local game stores or maybe one GameStop that has a solo leveling challenger series.
I've seen it.
So,
So the new town I live in, there's two places that sell it. There's a collectible store that's kind of like hidden away, which has Hex and Apocalypse and the stuff from this year, and Waterstones, which is like our big box bookstore, sells Origins of Power. And I literally
ooh,
saw I was taking Flynn there to look for like some books for Christmas, and I saw someone buying it, and I was like, oh, I went over to talk to him. I was like, oh, did you play this game? Like, no, it's like Attack on Titan. I was talking to him. And I was like, well, if you ever want to learn, you live in the area. He's like, I live, and they went, I live in, and they named the place I've just moved from. I'm like, God damn it.
of course they did. Ain't that always the way?
But Connor was meant to be on as well. We haven't mentioned him, but Connor from the Dobbers, who has a good player focused attitude, was meant to be on, but he's not feeling too well. And he talked about the
That and
fact
we
that
can't have him on within the first 10 minutes because of swearing. It's the
YouTube,
Scotland's way.
yeah, YouTube's ditched that. But yeah, once they
Oh,
took
okay.
parallel foils, the XRs out, it hit the purchasability of packs because XRs were a big collector driver. Look at Riftbound. The parallel foils of Riftbound really do get people going, especially like the Nexus Night stuff. And as you said, the pack openings, the ability to pull the cards on stream or when you're out with people was a great thing for the Chromes, but the moment they put them into pricing, devalued them to me.
I kind of agree, but I think for me, prizing chromes would be cool if they are cards that are not already chromed.
Hmm.
Like if you have like I think we did the girl power for worlds, they had like the girl power chromes, but they said like top 8 or whatever, but they were still the same chromes you could find in the pack. For pricing promos, if you wanted to do chromes, let's do cards that haven't been chromed yet. So that way the people who it doesn't like devalue the value of the chromes that are still out there, but you still get this unique and really cool prize for doing really well.
So if you turned up and like the one of the Chromes for Worlds this year was a Bebop and Rocksteady Chrome.
I mean, I wouldn't want it anyway because I don't like either of those characters,
But
but
but you know what I'm saying?
isn't Bebop already a chrome?
Is Bebop already a Chrome? I mean, they may have already been a Chrome, but
Yeah,
uh,
Bebop's already a chrome, which because I thought that was a really weird choice for
so
chromes.
if you could get a Rocksteady Chrome to go with your Bebop, or you could get an Ape O'Neil Chrome, fan favorite cards. Like if you went back into Hex and you could get a Pumot Soul or a, uh, you could go and get the other side. So you've got a Jester Chrome, but the next one could be a not Chrome. So you could have the Chaos Crew together as Chromes. Like
Yeah,
fill out the collection pieces. Like Brodekin has gone and got all 8 Critical Role Chromes, but if you drop in pricing that there was going to be Pumat Soul or you were going to get Ford,
Vexalia.
Vexalia, Ford, uh, FCG, Fern, like all the stuff that's on there, and you just go, yeah, you can
Oh,
get
I
so,
about killed myself with an FCG this weekend.
but you can go. These are the chromes you can get in the pack, but the rest of the characters may show up in organized play. Would be a great way
I
to
think
go.
that'd be cool.
That could
I
be
think that'd be a really good way to go. Because I'm not a fan of the like just the alternate color wash or color schemed of like your entry promos,
yeah.
like the Mondo Gecko and stuff. I think that's on the one hand it feels lazy, and on the other hand, if if you're entering and you do well and you get like the top 4, top 8, whatever, you've already got so many of this one card. But why not be like, oh, for top 8, you get this character chrome, but for top 4, you get this character chrome, and they're different characters.
Yeah.
That would enhance people to want to do well even more.
Yeah, and like
On
constantly, it'll
top,
make events super valuable.
yeah. Which, if people don't care about chromes like moi, that could be used to help recoup, travel costs and stuff like that. Which it goes towards making your tournament experience feel worth it, which is a topic that we've
But
discussed at
even
length
if it
on this
isn't,
program.
even if it isn't too, even if you don't like chromes, the fact that these are exclusive to say regionals, season 1 next year. There's a chrome pot on there, and it's a Godzilla character chrome that wasn't in part of the 10 characters. So say there's 16 characters, 10 of which are getting chromes. The other 6 characters you can get from being in top 32, top 16, top 8, top 4 finalist and winner. Those
That's
six,
6.
that's 6 top 6 chromes. Those 6 chromes become increasingly available, desirable by anyone who loves Godzilla.
Yep.
That would be absolutely amazing. If you got like a champion burning Godzilla chrome and that wasn't in the set, that would make people travel. It's an exclusive alternate art that no one else is going to have access to of characters because we've got these desirable IPs now. The TMNT community would go nuts to try and get a hold of them. We've seen it with the uh, TCG player magazines. Those chromes that were serialized to 250 were absolutely nuts. People have gone in the team community have gone a little bit nuts over them, and they've been showing up and they've been holding their price at about $300-$400. The critical role ones are still always very desirable, especially to the critical community. They went nuts buying product. If you tell them that they can get a Vexeldan, they can get a Vexeldan or a Ford or a Not, even like any of the, even Italian Darrington, people will go for it. It will help the secondary market. It makes the events immediately more desirable because people can then finish their Chrome collection with these characters.
Yep. I think that
Uh,
would be really dope. UVS Games, take notes.
kind of saying that you'd
That
go
one's on the
mental
house.
if that was a Chrome regional pricing. Well, it's not going to be for next year, Connor, so hopefully it'll come back around our way. So say,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everything for next year is already set in stone, especially when you consider what you have to print and all of that noise.
it made good
We're talking
pricing.
about the far-flung future.
It made good pricing for, say, some kind of one of a kind, first of its kind community celebration. But I mean, Mike said that they should give us whoever wins the event gets to be on an attack because that's never happened before. So I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, The big
That's kind of dope.
one of the things for me is chromes shouldn't be serialized anymore. I think we need to move away from serialized chromes. We need to be able to reprint products, and part of reprinting products is having the availability to. So if UVS needs to put more chromes into there to reprint them, they should be allowed to. Look at Riftbound with their signature artist cards. People love opening them, and there's so many been pulled, and they still hold their value in their community. They still go on there, and they're not limited by serialization. They're not limited by what you have to do in there. It's just an amazing card that people can pull that have a value of $800 to $4,000.
Well, here's a question.
Hmm?
Instead of doing single print runs, what if we kept the Chrome serialization, put half in the first print run and half in the second one? At least that way you'd get double your print run, and that could extend the life of the shelf life of the product and keep the secondary market afloat.
I think the main issue is if you put half into one and half into the other, you're going to have people generally complaining.
People are going to
Because,
complain no matter what.
yes, but if you announce the 10 clones of Godzilla and you say X, Y, and Z are going to be in the first print run, and then you go, but A, B, and C are in the second print run.
No, that's not how I'm talking about it. I'm talking about, like, since they're serialized between 1 and 100, put the first 50 of each Chrome in the first print run and the second 50 in the second print run.
What if you don't sell enough to justify the second print run?
I think this is a big one. We need to talk to someone from UVS Games to see how they make decisions like that.
Yeah. Well, they don't do
Because
secondary
I
print
can't.
runs, do they? So they don't make that decision.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't. You have more contacts with the company than I do. I just sometimes talk to Lenoco on Discord when he's telling me to get off Master Duel.
My son bought some special. I don't know what you guys call it. Squash. Yeah, like concentrated juice where you add water to it, and it's for Wicked. Wicked for Good, and it's got little bits of glitter in it, so when it spins around, it makes like a little tornado.
Nice. I think we just call that a drink mix. I don't know if we have a specific name for it, but it's not something I do, so I don't know.
Fair enough. But yeah, look, I think serialization for things like the PSA magazines or special stuff like that makes sense. But it's something I've said before. We in like other videos, I don't think we should be serializing anymore. The game is small and product does have an ability to sit on shelves, but we've seen it with Dark Tournament. We've seen it with Hex. Our product can sell out. And
Counterpoint.
Good.
Keep serialized chromes, but I don't think the chromes are what's causing the product to sell out most times. But I do think that if the product sells out, it's still going to sell even without chromes because there's stuff in there like Dark Tournament that had so many good powerful cards that people are going to buy it anyway even without the chance to get a chrome.
Counterpoint. Why you're gonna have people that complain that why should they pay full MSRP for a product that doesn't have a chance to get a chrome? This product has less, so therefore should cost less.
But if you don't know there's a chrome in there anyway, then that's your argument for everything. I'm
No,
not
no,
guaranteed a
but
chrome in this, so therefore it is less valuable.
But it's a Schrodinger's cat situation of it. So similar to the Heroes Clash First Edition and Unlimited. In First Edition, until you opened it, there was a chance there was a chrome in there. In Unlimited, there was no chrome no matter what. In the first print run of Hex, there's a chance you could get a chrome. But if they did a second print run, you don't have a chance to get a chrome. So people would go, why am I paying full price if a part of this product is no longer there? If I'm getting less, I should pay less.
because I think that the people who are buying that second print run are doing it because they need cards from the set, not because they're hunting for chromes. I think we're putting a lot of value on how chromes drive sales.
Chromes do drive sales to the collectors and to the fans of the IPs. I know people in the critical community that bought multiple cases hunting for chromes.
That's true, but I think those like whale situations are fewer and far between than the players who are upset that because of the limited print run and because whales bought up a lot of product, they then don't have a chance to get the cards they need. So I think a second print run even without chromes would still help generate for players who weren't able to throw a bunch of money at the first print run or got everything bought out from under them by whales.
Kind of saying the good sets sell well. That doing a second print run without chromes would be good because it's a player first decision, and that
Yeah,
if we were
because like the
if we were a
go
collector's
ahead.
game, then every set would sell out. But I mean, every set apart from AOT have sold out, and even AOT
It's because
one,
they've mostly been really good sets.
yeah. Team, but yeah, I guess it's one of the things that, like you're saying, I'm putting too. I might be putting too much stock into what chromes bring, but
I think they are good for getting money into the game from whales.
hmm,
I think to get the money from whales to kind of keep the game afloat, it is a good decision. And yeah, it's awesome when you get to open one. So I'm told. I've got a local that's pulled 5 chromes out of 4 sets, and he's been playing the game for a year. And that makes me upset on a personal level. And then we had another guy who only plays once every couple of months, bought 3 packs of Hex, pulled a Chrome Grog. And I'm glad I wasn't at the store when that happened because I would have flipped the table. I was so
I've put my
mad.
first chrome in TMNT, and yeah, I'm happy. I've still got it. I might try and flog it at Glasgow, but
Who is it?
Superfly,
Yeah, at least it's a decent character. It's not
yeah,
Bebop.
but it's yeah. I guess I'm more kind of focused on that kind of aspect of getting more people to buy it. But a second print one would be a player decision. But is that as
Yeah.
appealing to UVS to do it then if they know the whales aren't going to buy it?
If they know their players are going to buy it, yeah. Because otherwise, you're just ramping up the prices on the secondary market, and UVS is not reaping the rewards from those inflated costs. So you might as well do a second print run so that your players who are dedicated to the game and you know are going to buy, or at the very least, support the local stores where they can pick up the cards or use them as like prizes or whatever. You know it's going to the players as opposed to people who are just going to resell it on the secondary market, anything they don't need for their collection. And then they reap that money back, and UVS doesn't get a cut of that.
Yeah, I guess the secondary market isn't something UVS should be worrying about as a company, but it should be something they're aware of.
Yeah, because like we said with like the walk the dogs, would walk the dog be like a $40 to $50 card if they had done another print run of uh dark tournament to where maybe my store still has a box or half a box where if I needed to pick up a few packs to try to get a walk the dog or an armor of the wolf or a battle aura release that I still could.
I mean, I'm going to go with yes, because think back to repeated 100% Smash in its heyday, where it was when it was one of the first cards to breach $100 in its like base form because of how good it was. And Undaunted Raid product was still available, and you were guaranteed to get one secret rare. Well, you were on average going to get one secret rare in every box. So you had a 1 in 6 chance of that being the secret rare you got. But people didn't buy Undaunted Raid boxes, they went and bought the singles. So I think War the Dog, just because of how good it is, would still maintain its value. But to kind of flip a little bit, it'd be better for new players coming into the game to have the opportunity to try and dig for it than having to go and
Yeah.
pay for the price to get hold of it.
Yeah, because if I have a new player that comes in and they're like, "Oh, there's Yu Yu Hakusho's in this game. I loved that show when I was, a teenager. Where can I get packs for that?" Sorry, man. Unless you want to drop like $200 for a box, you got nothing. And that's why I don't think single run products should be a thing. At the very least, give us two print runs just so you have your initial run with like whales trying to get your chromes and trying to do that. And then you get your second run where, all right, the whales have got what they need. So now your players can not have to pay exorbitant inflated prices.
So, what do you think about experience bundles, like what we've seen with Borderlands when we go up on the screen, filling that gap? What if we saw, like I said, these are secret layers. So, let's say we get 8 of these throughout a year, and that's a conservative guess. What if we get one here that has Water the Dog and Weapons Clash, and then let's say another one gets announced for January, which has Battle Aura release on there, and True 100% Power, and like these other cards that have their places within the meta. We start and UVS and basically go, these are the cards that people have been playing. These are the cards that people want to get hold of for their meta deck, for their fun deck, for their play experience. We can't reprint Yu Hack Show because of licensing or they don't want to or whatever. Plethora of reasons they doesn't make financial sense for them. That stops them from doing another print run, but they stick those cards as play sets into an experience bundle. Is that a good alternative?
If they're play sets, yes. If they are a reasonable price point, yes. If there's a reasonable availability, yes. If it's only one of those three things, I don't know. But if all three of those things to where it's like a reasonable price point for the cards you're getting, they're play sets of all of them except for maybe the characters, and they're what was my third thing? Price, play set,
Availability.
and if they're not like, oh, we're only printing 100 of these,
Yeah.
good luck, guys. Uh,
If it's not
Something like
print on
that.
demand like the uh, City of Wolves one.
Yeah. Um, I think it could be good. I think it could be good. And as long as they're not coming out with them once a month, because that extra $40 to $50 a month could kind of hamper things.
Yeah.
The thing I'm most excited for, I prefer the way the Borderlands did it, where you're getting four characters and four non-characters.
Well, that's
I
what I was
don't like
going to ask next. Was if we went
okay,
back.
because I have something for that.
Well, so before we get onto the point with the Borderlands, let's let's just assess the previous play experience bundles from your like the points that you got on here. So the first ones we got were Fresh Cut Grass and Anya Forger, and everyone forgets Anya Forger. Even we forgot Anya Forger when we did this the first time. So I'm gonna make sure.
I didn't forget her. I just ignored her.
I'm gonna make
I've got a
sure
local who's been playing Anya just to do it.
we don't. I put Anya in front of me to make sure that she wasn't forgotten. She's been through enough. But yeah, they were $30 a piece, and you got the card and the playmat. Very similar to what we saw with the S Class Hunters in Soul Leveling. For you, as a semi competitive, mainly casual hermit teacher player, is that a good price point for the product and how it was made available? That it was through the UVS Games store rather than going through your local store.
Most of me wants to say no
Ooh.
because it was only the one character and a playmat that I couldn't give a fuck about. So why am I paying for something that I don't want, similar to your Chrome thing, just to get the one character I do want? Now, if they had had an option where it's just, hey, here's just the fresh cut grass, as just a special edition promo on the store and it's like $15, sure, I think that's cool. I've seen a lot of stuff for that. I've got a friend of mine. We play what is it? The DC deck building game, and we've been picking up a bunch of the expansions. Well, we actually went to the website, and there are promo characters that you can buy, just the character for like $10.
Oh,
And it's never before printed characters. They're not in any sets. You can only get them from the website. I'm picking up some of those because one, they're some of my favorite characters, and two, I think that's really cool. To just hey, it's a $10 character. It's a character you can't get anywhere else. Why not? It's kind of like how we do redemption store stuff.
yeah.
I
Oh,
think that's
oh,
good. I do not like paying for the mat mainly because that also like increases shipping costs and yeah, I don't need any more mats. I'm giving all my mats away once I hit 500 subs. So
I have
uh,
so many playmats. I kind of need to do the same. I kind of touched on the same thing Connor just mentioned in the chat. I just checked. If you want to sell to collectors, you do these collector bundles or secret layer type products. That's fair. So going on from there, the next one was the City of Wolves t-shirts. I don't think we really had any kind of collector bundles after that. And that
I did not like those at all.
I can't remember how much they were. They were I think they were still
They're 40
$30.
$45,
$45 for the t-shirt and the retro legal promos. And that's
which the promos looked gorgeous. No way am I spending $45 on them. Sorry, I can't justify a shirt and one character I'm not going to play, one character that came back from Legacy, which would be cool, and one character I would need 4 copies of. I'm not. If it was a T-shirt and you get one of each of those with the T-shirt, yeah, I could see that because then it's $15 per character,
oh
and
so,
I get a shirt.
so you choose the shirt and then you just get one each of the characters.
Yeah, if it was that to where you get one of each character and you just pick which shirt design you want. Uh, is like pick this shirt design and each shirt comes with these 3 characters. I actually probably would have bought it at that point. I never would have worn the shirt, but I would have had some cool characters to put in my book.
Give the shit away.
And yeah, and just put the shirt in the closet, donate it to Goodwill. I don't know. But and you say I'm more casual than I am competitive. I'm very competitively minded. I just don't get a chance to get out much.
That's fair.
um, but I don't like paying for things I don't need. I don't need mats. I've got a mat. I'm cool. I don't need a shirt. I've got wardrobe. I'm all right. Um,
Well, I mean, to the same extent, you
but if it's
don't.
a character I want, I don't want to pay for something. I don't want the price to be bumped up because I have to buy something else to get it.
But the bigger thing is, you don't need to buy this to get the characters. These aren't mechanically unique characters. Each of these characters are available on single stores in America, and there are some Canadian stores as well that have them. So you could go pick up a Rock Howard or a May or a Terry from single vendors. You don't have to get the promos. That product was more designed towards the collectors and the City of Wolves fans.
Man, having this microphone in my way really affects my typing.
Oh yeah, I know that. I feel that.
I'm just going to TCG Player to see if I can see what those cards are costing right now. I don't need Lorcana. No, thank you.
I think Rock Howard was about $5. But
He's not on TCG Player.
I think Rochester had a couple left to people. This was after months ago, so they may have sold out because people did that.
Well, no, I mean like it's not even on the.
Yeah.
It's not even in an option.
Well, we can check while you're checking on that. We'll move on to the solo leveling bundle, the Shadow Monarch and the S Class Hunters, where this is a divergence of products because we've got 3 that are reskins that just come with a playmat at $30 a piece, and then you have the Shadow Monarch bundle, which is an errated character with a brand new mechanically unique skill tree, and then an additional 20 mechanically unique cards, all for $40. Now, to me, that is the best bundle we've done so far.
Yeah, I personally did get a Shadow Monarch bundle mainly because there were the mechanically unique promos. So that's why I got it. So that I knew since I knew they came with play sets, I was like, I only need to buy it once, and I'll have these cards. I don't mind spending $40 on that because it's 20 unique cards.
Yeah, but when you look at but how does that compare to what you're getting for $10 less in the reskinned characters and then the playmat?
Uh, they're reskinned characters and they don't come with anything else. It doesn't feel like there's any added value to it. I will say again, because it's the one character. If this was even bump it up $50 and I get all four characters and the extra promos, I think that's more justifiable. But for one character that's a reskin, it's not even a mechanically unique character. I think that's a little rough.
So
And when we get to the Borderlands one, I'll explain why. I'm just gonna keep kicking that can down the road.
yeah, no, yeah. So you're seeing the point of diminishing return for your three prongs of what this product should be would be better if the additional product was the choice, but the cards were uniform. So if we instead of getting 21
Yes.
cards, you got 24 cards. Every card, like with the Borderlands, you get one of each of the cards, and the playmat or the T-shirt or whatever the additional extra thing is, that is what's different. So if you want the Sung Jin Woo Season 2 promotional playmat, you get that. Or if you want one of the UVS art creation playmats for Bohet Byakien Ho or Mami Cha, then those are the playmats you get, but the cards you get all of them regardless.
Yes, I think that would be more worth it for what you're getting.
I think it also works out better for a community aspect as well because say someone like
And again,
yourself,
as long as these aren't every month.
yeah,
As long as I'm not dropping an additional 40 to 50 every month.
but say someone like yourself who doesn't care about playmats but wants the cards, but you know someone in your community, like you said, who's a massive Soul Leveling fan, who wants all the playmats, you can split the cost between you by just going, cool, give me $20 towards the bundle. I'll take the cards, you take the playmat, and then you can start collecting the playmats. And it works out better for
Or
like your community aspects as well.
or even if he bought a bundle with one playmat, I bought a bundle with a different playmat, and then I could just trade him the mat for maybe some cards that I need.
Yeah, I think the point of diminishing return is vastly different between some of these products, and we'll get to it here now. I don't know how comparable this is to the solo leveling one until we find out the numbers of the cards in here. But the Borderlands one to me, this feels like a collector's product. I'll quickly just go over what I mean in that before we head over to your monologue about this product. The t-shirts, the playmats, they don't come in from what I understand, in a collector's kind of style. They come in a tube for the playmat, and then
They
the cards just
come in an
there.
Amazon box.
They come in Amazon box, but like you have the Soul Leveling playmat tube, and you have your cards. You got your package with your T-shirt, and inside was the cards. The Borderlands one is a vault. You open it up, and all your treasure is there. It's going to be easier to display. I don't need to get these framed. I don't need to figure out how I'm going to display these. This literally opens up, and you have it as a display book, similar to the Arcane Riftbound cards, similar to what we've seen with some of the other cards. This is a great way to display. It's a great way that you're going to be able to catalog and keep these. And the price point, if these are all these are all play sets of the non-character cards, is going to be on point. I think this is the best one so far, despite being a massive solo leveling fan, just because, as Connor said, if you want to appeal to sellers, you need to sell them something that is collectible through bundles or secret layers or exclusive cards. but you also need a way for it to be presentable.
Yeah, I can see that. It kind of reminds me of. Did you play Yu-Gi-Oh at all?
Man, I dropped slightly after Synchro was introduced.
Okay, but you played earlier than that.
Yeah.
Well, then let's flip the coin on Time Wizard and spin the time back. Do you remember the old Dark Beginning promo books?
No.
So there were collectors like booklets, and the book was like a silver book, and when you open it up, you had like the main characters ace cards like Blue Eyes White Dragon, Dark Magician, and beneath those you had one or two booster packs from like the first 6 sets.
Oh.
And it was a collector's thing. So this kind of gives me big vibes like that, but you're just getting cards, but it does leave open, let's say 2027 we get a Borderlands set. I could see them doing something like this with maybe only one copy of each card, like if we are getting play sets of the non-characters, but getting only one copy of each as promos with like 6 Borderlands packs
Yeah, that could make sense.
as like an additional thing, and you still get the collector's book. So I could see them opening the door for something like that down the line, and that could be sold in big box stores. That could get our name out there a little bit more. Uh, so I think I do like the presentation of this. I do think it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And like Connor said, it feels like a collector's thing. And especially if you only have to buy one of them, which like I know collectors will be like, so they have one of each, but for players, if we have playsets of the non-characters.
Now, what I hope we don't do is go down a Magic the Gathering secret layer kind of aspect where they go with the oh yes, we're gonna drop a yeah, I'm trying
Alternate
popular
universe.
yeah, I'm trying to think of a popular IP. Uh
Jujutsu Kaisen.
yeah. We're gonna do a Jujutsu Kaisen, Blue Lock, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure kind of experience bundle. But you're gonna get a sealed pack and you're gonna get 5 cards, and it's gonna be of a selection of these cards. And although people were hyped for it, I hope they don't do alternate art exclusive. Like when we got the Soul Leveling one, we no one saw that there was a alternate art version of Sun Jimu in there. And
Oh no, I got thrown for a loop.
some people opened it and they're like, "Oh my god, I got something special." It's like, no, it's just the backside of the card. Oh, but after that one
Yeah,
moment,
but that's facing up, so it really threw me for a loop until I turned
but
it
for
over.
that
And I was like,
one
oh,
moment, you thought you had something that no one else could have had, could have possibly had, because they hadn't
my
announced
first
it.
thought was, I don't remember this in the press release.
Exactly. So what if that's something they move into where it's like, okay, uh, we're gonna do a Gojo Yuji, Megami, and girl character.
No, Bara, you put
No,
respect on her name. That woman is fucking terrifying.
she is, but she did.
I will say she does have one of the top 5 badass anime
She
moments
does suffer
in my
from the
book.
Team Seven.
Don't at
She
me.
does suffer from the Team Seven issue of girl character gets overshadowed by every male character in the show because
No, I remember her name more than I remember Megumi. I forgot his name until you said it. The minute she starts driving nails into her arm and says, "Let's see who blinks first," I'm like,
but
I'm
yeah,
out.
say we get those. Say
Nope,
we get
I
those
don't
as
need to deal
four.
with you.
We get those as 4 characters. But he goes, okay, we're gonna do a collector's bundle, but every one in 100 collector's bundle is gonna have infinite domain alternate art Gojo. It's gonna have Black Flash Yuji. It's gonna have uh whatever the hell that massive demon that he summoned Megami is going to have epic like
Nails in the arm, Nobara.
it's gonna have yeah it's gonna have uh post facial reconstruction Nebula.
Okay, don't do that to me. That was sad. I was like, really? You're gonna kill off useful Sakura? Don't do that to me.
But you see, if he said that,
Yeah.
there was one there, like I know
If it
Hitch.
was if it was one of 100, I think that'd be a bit much. If it was 1 in 50, maybe you still get that chase value. And as long as it's not a limited run, it could still be a fun thing. Because as long as the characters are there, I'm one of those people. I don't care what version of the character I get because they're both playable, and usually the higher versions I will just sell and buy a cheaper version because I've been broke most of my life. So, but it is cool to if you get that. Like I did pull a Chibi Sungjin Woo, and I was able to give it to a friend of mine, uh, who really is just a massive solo leveling fan, kind of like you.
I have
But
three. I think I've got one.
but but sh- but handing it to him in person was cheap. Would be cheaper than shipping it to you. Sorry.
It's literally fine. I have three. I'm taking one to Glasgow to give to someone. I have too many.
Yay!
And now we have this
First world
alternate art,
problems.
which is so much better.
Yeah, I've never really been a fan of chibi art. Just personally, it doesn't do it for me.
I like Chibi.
But
I think it has its place. I think if we got an Isekai quartet set, I'd lose my mind because it's absolutely beautiful. But
okay, you know what? There is a character in Get Backers who canonically turns chibi, and I say that because they usually use it as like a gag. But he has interacted with people as a chibi. Like people have picked him up and put them on their lap before, and if we got a chibi alternate art of Genji, I think that would really that
like
would do it.
Charmy from Black Clover.
Still haven't seen it.
Wow. But
Hey, I did just finish Sakamoto Days season 2, so you leave me
nice.
alone.
Yeah. But no,
That show's
I'd
fucking
also like it if it was,
hilarious.
I also prefer Chibis if it was like a Muppet situation where all the cards were normal and then only one of the cards is Chibi, like the solo leveling, which is why I like it so
Yeah,
much.
that'd be kind of cool. Few and far between. Pace it out.
Yeah. Just like, oh yeah, all we got all these amazing cards, and then this one Chibi's there. They don't reference it at all. It's just a Chibi card.
That that's what I thought Get Backers was gonna do until I saw like he did his little chibi dance, and then someone just picked him up and put them on his lap. I'm like, oh wait, no, hold on. They're actually, but they're not talking about the fact that he just okay, all right.
So
If you haven't watched Get Backers, it is a
yeah.
hilarious anime, and it's really hard to find. I'm
We got
sorry.
Corin saying it's a shame that you can't stack the Sunji moves. Technically, no,
They're the same Sung Jin Woo.
but there's nothing. I don't think there's anything in the rules that say you can't swap the card based on art between games.
I don't think so. As long as it's the same card, I think it should be
Really?
fine. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm a judge. I was about to say I'm not a judge, but I am a judge. But that's not a question that often comes up because it
Yeah.
has nothing to do with the mechanics of the game.
I also like the fact
Um,
that with Sunji, you have an 11 card sideboard.
true, true. But something I will say about this Borderland Experience bundle, and kind of the reason I'm gonna get it, because
Yeah.
you've heard me rant here and on my channel about why I don't think these experience bundles are a good idea. And as I've said here, it boils down to my three-pronged criteria of is it worth it? Is it, are you getting enough for your money? Is it going to be easy to get? Blah, blah, blah. The reason I'm going to get the Borderlands one, I've never played a Borderlands game in my life. But not only am I getting good cards out of it, especially if they're placed, but I can put those Borderlands characters in my character book that I carry with me to tournaments so that when I'm talking to new people, they can flip through my book and see all of the characters we have in current standard. And if someone says, "Oh, you guys have Borderlands," I can say, "Yes, we do. You can buy this one bundle, you get all of these cards, and because they have the license, we're likely getting a set or something in the near future." And that might get more people into the game. They want to use these experience bundles to get more eyes on the game, more IPs to trickle in and kind of wet the palate and tease people. So I think that is one of the main reasons I'm going to get it because I can show off we have Borderlands as an IP. Look at how good these cards look. Sure, this is all we have now, but if you get this bundle and it's like 40 bucks, but you get play sets of all these very strong non-character cards which are meta relevant, you're getting good cards, you're getting great art, you're getting an IP you love, and that's a way that I can introduce more people into the game. If it's just the one character in the mat, sorry, I'll pull those images up on Ultra. I'm not dropping $30 per character just to put them in a book to say, "Hey, look, we have solo leveling, but you can only get this one character and it's going to cost you 30 bucks."
Okay,
I think the way they're doing the Borderlands one is a lot better.
I'm gonna go with two counterpoints here. First to the last one you put on there, like, oh, if it's just to get the playmat and the counter, what if they end up on the redemption star? I'm not a fan of the redemption star by any means, but if the soul level S class characters end up on the redemption star, that could be more appealing to players who do not want to get the playmat and other stuff like that.
Yeah. And if whenever characters come out on the redemption store, like we had the Fern and the Dorian, I always max out my quota. Sure, I only need one of each, but if they're two per per lifetime thing, I'll get the two so I have a spare copy in my book to show people.
Yeah,
Granted, I'll usually have a copy, whatever my copy is anyway. I always keep a copy, but I will use those extra cards to try to entice people into the game. I even give them away for free sometimes. My whole demo experience is if you demo with me and I have all my stuff with me, I'll let you pick a character from my book and I'll build you that character on the spot and give it to you for free. So the more character options I have for that, the better in my experience. So if they wanted to drop these onto the redemption store, I'd be happy to pick up a couple of each so that I have them to show off. But I'm not dropping $30 for one each.
and then just to go back to like what you're saying, it kind of ties in with what I was saying at the start. This Borderlands is a limited print run. So if someone is looking
Yeah.
through your book and goes, "Oh, you've got Borderlands, you've got," they did another one in like 3 months. You've got Claptrap, which is legitimately the only Borderlands character I remember outside of Butt Stallion and Handsome Jack, because I played the Tales of the Borderland game, and I don't think Reese. I don't think.
The only one I knew of outside of Claptrap and Handsome Jack, because I recently watched a villain breakdown on him, was Tiny Tina.
Oh yeah,
That's the only other name I know.
I know.
That's the only other
Yeah.
name I
Okay,
know.
I'm starting. I'm okay. I'm starting to get more coming back, but I don't think Reese is a canonic character because he's part of the Tales universe. But I digress. If we get a Moxie, if we get another one that has Moxie, Tiny Tina, Claptrap, and Handsome Jack, and someone goes, "Oh, these are really cool," you go, "Yeah, we also got X, Y, and Z from the first one," and then someone goes online and sees, "Oh, these are all sold out."
Yeah, and
It's a
that's why I'm not a fan of. That's why that third prong, the limited availability. I don't like that.
no. Uh, one of the
But I
things.
do think these could be fun things to send to into put into stores
Yes, this is what I was
as
going to.
opposed to just online.
This is what I was going to say as my next point is, how do we feel about the way the experience bundles were handled before soul leveling and how soul leveling was handled, where you had to go through UVS and it was a kind of print on demand aspect, which was then sent out later, as opposed to soul leveling, which has been put into distribution, has been sent to stores, has been more widely available, especially on a international level, where we're not paying customs and extraordinarily higher import costs. Because UVS, I've kind of had the $5, $7 flat rate for a while. But if you look at things like Riftbound, when you order it through Riot, they charge a lot for international postage. So
I believe it. As someone who works in shipping, I believe it.
So I think it's better for UVS to go through stores because they're not losing money on the shipping to everyone outside the US. And the stores have a chance to hype up these products and actually put in there. Like you were saying, if someone went through your folder and was like, "Oh, you've got Borderlands," yeah, you go see Sean at the desk because every TO we have in this game is called Sean. Uh, you go.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those. If I had a nickel, I'd have two nickels. But it's weird that it's happened twice.
Unless you know Shannon, then you go see Richard, but that's some point. Yeah, go see Sean at the front desk. Yeah, the
He's an
Borderlands,
honorary Sean.
the Borderlands bundles in stores, and you can go okay, and then they can be like, okay, let me have a look at distribution. Let me see if I can get you one if we haven't got it in store. or we can try and find one at a store that has it available, kind of thing. And you're being encouraged to support local stores and actually go and find it and find communities. And stores see that that this game is being purchased, especially with these high end products, as opposed to going through Universus that go through UVS directly.
I agree. I think that's really cool, and I think a way they could do it is like I'm not big on the like dealing with distributors for my stores. I used to do that with a shop in Tulsa, but with the store that I'm at in Norman, they are really good on being on top of things. But do it so that you can pre-order a certain amount. Like, so they can ask their players, okay, who's interested in this? Okay, I've got 5 people interested in this. Let me get 7 or 8.
Yeah,
So that way, in case someone else sees it and wants it, fine. So it's not like something like, oh, you have to get 15, and then maybe they're just sitting on the shelf or anything like that. And then any extra that didn't make it out to there, you could sell on the UVS store to give new players a direct access, at least here in the US, maybe, because like you said, international shipping's a bitch. Uh, but put it on the UVS store so that either other stores can be like, "Hey, UVS Games, turns out we ran out of these and I need to buy like 2 or 3 more." Maybe they can sell them directly to the stores, or players can buy them directly, maybe at a higher cost than from UVS Games than from local stores to encourage uh supporting your local stores. But I think that could be something that could be really cool.
what is going on here?
I don't know.
Aha, there we go. Yeah, I'm just going to check the star. And for some reason, it decided it was going to show up everywhere. But yeah, the UVS store does have everything that they like, all the games and playable stuff on the website. And then when you go like
Okay.
to when you go to the rock house and stuff, it.
But I think the shirt ones are all sold out, aren't they?
No,
Oh, hold on.
I'm very
I'm going
confused
to the
because
shop.
it's. I'm gonna well, hold on. I'm just gonna let me see. No, no, I've literally just added one to a car. I think the website might be broken. Yeah, I've just added a rock hammer to a cart for £24. That I think the website might be a little bit broken at the minute, but right, so,
Uh, no, because it looks like I can. Well, it says short. This product is a pre-order that will ship out November 2025.
yeah, I think the website might be a little bit broken. But if you go to like the Soul Leveling one, they've got it. They've got it at MSRP, so they've got it for twenty seven
Yeah, because I'm
pounds.
looking at the my shirt and it's 29.99 USD, and they just have the sizes crossed out that they don't have anymore. But it looks like I can add one to my cart. So maybe they do have some
Have we
extras that were printed and
found a bug in the system?
uh voices from the void. If any of you are UVS Games employees, please speak up. I
uh,
know Guile or sometimes Paul is in here, so sending out an SOS.
yeah, I'm just gonna like pop it over onto the extra stream. If it wants to show, there we go.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I'm not watching the stream because I'm using my back massager right now.
that's fair.
I can only use that or
No,
this
that's the
that
stream.
or
But
my
yeah,
other
you
stream.
can. So yeah, apparently the fade stuff. So I guess it was in a print to order kind of thing, or they had a minimum order they had to do. You can get a 5XL May. That
Yeah, because my goes from SML, XL, and 5X. The Rock Howard, they still have SML, XL, 4X, and
yeah,
5X.
that's with Terry as well. They
And
got
then
they've got small, medium, large, extra large, 4XL, 5XL. I guess that
yeah,
might
because it
be.
says yeah, it just says they're shipping. So let me try to add to cart.
Yeah, I've had it into cart. What?
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Can I clear my cart? Thank you. I don't want to accidentally buy a shirt next time I'm on UVS Games' website.
That's yeah. But what I was going to say is like they put
But I think
everything.
this is a good way to do it. Any extra shit you just put on the website so that people can pick it up, or maybe stores can say, "Hey, we need like another 3 because we had 3 more people show up and we want to buy them from you so that we can sell them to them. I think this would be a good way to do it instead of like print to order or limited print runs because anything extra we can send new players to the UVS Games store and that money goes directly to UVS Games. Yeah, because the Attack on Titan Battle for Humanity demo kit is sold out and says sold
Yeah,
out on it,
I'm just going past that. I'm
as
looking at
does
I'm looking at all the other stuff.
as is the Caleb playmat for some reason. So that
Oh, the
means those
killer,
aren't sold out.
the killer playmat looks gorgeous. Yeah, I'm looking at the
Well, yeah,
sleeves.
but I mean, of all the playmats, I didn't expect Caleb to be the one
You
to sell
leave
out.
the smelly wizard alone. He's traumatized and gorgeous, and his boyfriend can mess with time, so just don't mess with him.
I'm not trying to mess with him. I was just like, of anyway. Moving on.
But yeah, like all the products that seem to be available, we've apparently found out that if you missed out on the order system for Rock Howard, May,
Oh,
and
hey,
Terry,
they have the product types broken down, so I can just click experience bundles and see all 7 that they
and
have.
you can go buy them. Yeah, you can just go pick up more T-shirts, which is kind of, and yeah, you got all 7 experience bundles. That's
Booster
wacky
displays.
that you can do that. Oh well.
Can I not? Are we? Did I just break my? Oh, there we go.
But there
Oh,
we go.
booster displays.
Yeah, but anyway,
Ooh, how much are the girl power?
we can look
Booster
at
displays?
that, and we can go explore the
Yeah,
store.
I'm gonna close that.
We seem to have found a bug in the system that distracts us there because that's actually wild to me that we were. That's
Unless it's a feature. Unless it's a feature, and this is a good way to do it, because if I didn't have the money at the time to get the shirt, I'm now more inclined to go get the shirt once I have
yeah.
some extra scratch.
No,
So
and if
if
you
that's what you want
yeah
to do, good on you, UVS Games. Bravo.
yeah like you said, it's that exclusivity aspect of it. It was a limited print run, but the availability increased because they put more there. So yeah, it's a good price point. Well, it's an okay price point of $30 for a playmat and a reskin card. Uh, it's got wide
Oh, for
avail.
that I'm still kind of bleh.
Yeah, it's got wide availability and the characters are decent, especially the fact that Rock Howard got a promotion from say Legacy into Retro. And yeah, we found out that
If they want to do more of that, I've got some ideas, guys. If we want to reskin some legacy characters, I've got 3 old videos on my channel of like 15 or 20
we'll
legacy
get into
characters
that
each that
and
I want to
we'll
see.
get that into it in another time because that's what originally our alternate universe video was supposed to be before we got distracted into like the scalping and what the product could be. Because the big one they should do really, and I say you should do rather than could do, is Not the Brave. Because Not the Brave in the spoilers for campaign 2 of Critical Role, which at this point is ridiculously old. However, the animated series has dropped its first episode on YouTube, so this is brand new, fresh spoiler territory. So if you do not want to get a spoil on Not the Brave, come back in about 2 minutes.
All right.
Really?
I still haven't finished campaign 1, man.
Not the Brave was cursed by a hag and was actually a halfling called Veth. And during campaign 2, they break the curse and she goes back to being the halfling Veth. So, a great use of the alternate universe experience bundles would take all of Not's cards and reskin them with Veth. Or it's like
That'd be kind of neat.
or like some of the key cards. So you'd have Goblin Aerial Ball or like some of Veth's cards from the other ones, and you have Not's cards and you reskin them with Veth.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. And I did know that spoiler, by the way.
Okay.
Friend of mine showed me how that curse got broken, and that was hilarious.
Oh, the attempts to break it was hilarious, but I'll digress. I'll probably wrap up a bit earlier. We had more time on stuff like that, but I think we've covered everything we wanted to cover around play experience bundles. I think the TLDR for this episode of UKVersus is make sure that they're good value for money, make sure they're widely available, and make sure that they are worth it.
Yeah. Good cards, like good card selection, not limited print runs, and make sure you're getting enough cards for the monetary value.
Yeah, just make sure the point of diminishing return is worth it, and make
No
sure
more mats, please.
make sure that they get into stores. The the Borderlands one is a great example. That is a collector's product. It's a
Yes.
folder. It's a openable folder that people can use to display the cards in a store in their own home. It's a talking piece with players, like you were saying. It isn't just the other products have felt like you're buying a t-shirt, you're buying a playmat, and you're getting a card on top of that. This is you're buying a product because you're buying the cards, and the other stuff is coming extra. This is a card first example, and yes, this is a collector's product, but it's supposed to be a collector's product.
Yeah. But I think this is a collector's product that appeals not only to collectors of the IP, but to players as well, because there are good cards in there, at least as long as we get play sets of the non-character cards.
Yeah.
Because if we only get one of each card and it's like $50, that doesn't feel like it's gonna be enough.
No, you're
Like,
talking.
I'd probably do, like, 30 at that point, because you are getting the collector's book and all of that, and you're getting a
You
walk the
need to
dog for
discount.
30
Yeah,
bucks, that's fine.
you can't take into account the secondary market value of the cards when you do a product like this, because at that
Yeah,
point,
but I'm not talking about
no.
just the value of the cards, but make sure the cards are good enough to that people are gonna want them, and not
Yeah,
just want the art.
and if people want to play them, you need to make sure they can. You can't just go,
Yeah.
here's one water dog and one weapons clash when people will play them in playsets. Yeah, something like this, it needs to be one of each character and then playsets of all the cards, and this will be insane value for money. It will sell out well to collectors and players. And as we touched on when we talked about the collectors bundle, like the experience bundles and the alternate universe stuff, picking cards which are hard for players to get hold of, especially new players, makes this very appealing. The water dog, the weapons clash makes this very appealing because outside of paying very high secondary market costs, this is going to be the best way to get them.
I agree. And maybe that's something they do look into for the secondary market going forward. Like, okay, we have this experience bundle. What is a good card that fits this character's theme or fits like what they're about that maybe is about to rotate or is kind of hard to get nowadays that we can help newer players get into so they don't feel so left out? Because you know your existing players are going to buy it,
Yeah,
but it also helps the newer players who might just be getting in for that IP. So giving them cards that are good and playable up front is going to make them want to stay in the game longer.
yep.
Especially if like with solo leveling they don't have like a full set coming soon.
Okay, I think we'll wrap it up there. So the big things to take away are the point of diminishing return on these products is what is going to make them purchasable. Apparently, you can go buy the City of Wolves t-shirts now on the store, which was not advertised by UVS, so that's an exclusive to us. I'm gonna have to make some short content with that tomorrow because that's big news. And the,
Again, if we don't know if like when we go to check out it says it's no longer available.
no,
We
because
don't know.
it said sold out on the demo kits, like you said.
Yeah, that does make it feel very, yeah, like that's hard to argue my own point. I am
Yeah,
very good at that.
they literally just updated the website, so that kind of issue shouldn't be on there. It must be a new thing they put in.
Maybe because of like how screen printers work, they had to order a specific amount and maybe just had some extras.
Yeah, like they've had to order a minimum, which is why it's the awkward size, like the small and the 5XLs, which are the ones that they are on
I mean,
there.
the shirt's going in the closet anyway. I don't care.
But it's gonna have people crashing the website tomorrow. Yep, that's the goal. And yeah, I'm
You're welcome, UVS Games.
You're welcome. This is free
Don't-
advertising. We found something on there. I'm gonna head off now because we've got
UKVersus. We're not just bashing the company.
we've got to. I'm gonna chase up getting hold of a Sun Jinwoo ready for Glasgow because I'm playing Sun Jinwoo at Glasgow. I don't care if I have to proxy up an entire deck and argue and take judge damage every round. I'm playing the Sun Jinwoo. So yeah,
I've got a list coming out soon. If you, well, it wouldn't be out by the time for Glasgow, but I can email you a list.
I just put a list up this week, but I can send you the list I'm looking at to that I've been on there. But I need to get some testing into it. But that's a me problem.
I can watch your video. I'll give you views. It's fine.
But yeah, we won't be streaming next Sunday because I'll still be in Glasgow, and the Sunday after that we'll probably talk Glasgow or we will talk Guilty Gear because pre-releases start next week as well. And
Yeah,
so Glasgow's possibly going to be the biggest pre-release in the world, given that how many players are going to be there. So it's going to be really exciting.
That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah, great advertisement idea from there. I'm going to head off now. Thanks for this, Cameron. It's a shame Ty was not able to show up, but we'll get more guests in the future. And I hope Connor's feeling better. And I look forward to seeing him again in Glasgow. Catch you all in a bit.
See ya.
Bye.